different things. I mean, you see the drugs and the problems that's been, massive movement of fentanyl across the border. The number one cause of death for people 18 to 45 in the United States is now overdose from fentanyl. And that would not have happened, that would not be the case if we had operational control of what's going on in the border, but we don't. And so here we've sent people there, we've been involved, we're suing on catch and release, we're working on interdicting criminal aliens or people being smuggled, particularly in Northwest Florida, and directing them out of the state of Florida. We're working on, we just impaneled a statewide grand jury, or in the process of doing that, to be able to identify people that may be facilitating the smuggling. Because a lot of times the smuggling, there's people in the United States who are communicating to be able to get that, and it creates huge problems for our communities. And so we're doing a lot on it. People say, you're not a border state, what do you care? It affects us. Every one of you here knows that affects us. It affects us with the drugs, it affects us with the criminal activity, and then even people that are coming over who are not engaged in that, just the sheer number of people that are being dumped into our communities. You see the mayor of New York City and Washington, D.C. mayor now, because Texas started busing to those cities. And they're very supportive of an open border until it affects them. And now they're like, oh man, we just can't accommodate. It's going to hurt our health care and education. Yeah, exactly. That's why people don't want open border, because they actually want to be able to put their own citizens first. And so you're seeing that. I don't know what relief that you're going to see at the border anytime soon. I mean, I've said I would send National Guard to help Texas if they stopped them from coming over to begin with. They let them in, then you stop them, give them to the feds, and then the feds just release them. So what good does that do? So if you're going to repel from coming in or remove back across the border, I would send people to help for that, because I think that would be the deterrent. The problem is now people know if they just get to the border, they're in, and there's not going to be any people really turned away. So you've had massive numbers of people coming. And the results have been very, very difficult. I do think we are doing well in this case in the Panhandle, and we'll see in terms of the relief we get. But, when Trump was president, if I had someone in state prison who was an illegal alien, the minute their sentence was over, ICE would take them and send them back to their home country. When Biden came in, they would not take all these aliens. So some of them they would just release back into society. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is somebody that's here illegally. They've committed a crime. They've ended up in prison. Why would you release back into society? Just take them and return them. And so, we've shined a light on that. They've actually taken more because we've made an issue of it, but that is not consistent with good public safety. Good public safety would say a criminal alien for sure should be sent back. So that's going to continue to be a major issue, and we're going to continue to do what we want. We did increase the mandatory minimums for the fentanyl analogs in this past legislative session. If you think about it, fentanyl, when you're dealing that, there's a high chance that someone will overdose and a very high chance that they will die from doing this compared to pretty much any other narcotic that's out there. So I think that those folks that are pushing that, they should be dealt with very severely, because they are effectively murdering people by putting that into circulation and putting it on the street. And now you have so many things like they'll put it in marijuana, they'll put it in all these things. So none of these street drugs with fentanyl out there, they all, I think, have a possibility of having this stuff mixed into it. It's a huge, huge problem. So we just have to throw the book at these folks. And so that was what we did as one of the big portions of that. And we're really happy that we were able to do it. We also were able to do a program that we called the Hometown Heroes program. So anybody, it's not just law enforcement, it's law enforcement, fire, EMT, nurses, teachers, people that are in the community, be able to get assistance for buying a home. There's a lot of demand to buy homes in Florida. Now we'll see with the interest rates that have gone up. I think they're going to raise them even more. And then I think you're going to potentially, we may already be in a recession. I mean, Florida's doing better than the country as a whole, but this is just the result of a lot of these Washington policies. So we'll see kind of how that shakes out. But the bottom line is, if you want people to work in these agencies, you need to have the rank and file be able to live in the community. I mean, people don't want to have to commute an hour and a half just to go work. And so we're very sensitive to that. So we put $100 million down for that. We've already paid out, I think we've done about $12 million already in down payment assistance just so far in July, which the money just became available July 1st. So we're going to keep doing that to make sure that folks are going to be able to do, they come from some parts of the country and they can find deals here because some of the other places have really high cost of living. Maybe they make a lot of money when they sell their home, but at the same time, particularly a lot of young people, they may not be able to get in there. So we did that, and we're really happy with that, and we'll continue to do more in that regard. We also did a great bill, Senate Bill 226, about our retired canines. And so you now have a program in the state of Florida that will provide care for retired canines. And so you have the vet bills and things of that nature. So we put hundreds of thousands of dollars in there for them to be able to take care of those folks because, they're serving as well. And they do a lot of great stuff for our community. They do a lot of great stuff for our sheriff's departments and our police departments all around the state of Florida. So this is just a small token of our appreciation by being able to provide, usually the handler will take them when they retire to be able to make sure that that's economical and that they're not going into the poorhouse with vet bills. And so I was happy that the legislature did that, and I was happy to sign it into law. So we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep doing what we said we would do. I think that people are seeing the difference in the state of Florida versus many of these other jurisdictions. And at the end of the day, I think it's sad the direction that these places have gone. But when people look to see how it's done right, that may be educating more people about maybe reversing course on some of these destructive policies that we've done. So as long as I'm governor, we'll be standing with the folks who wear the uniform. We understand that public safety is paramount, and we truly believe that the folks who are working for our sheriff's departments and our police departments really are serving in a noble profession. And